Hi friends, my name is Sarah and welcome to my new channel. Like many of us, I discovered Booktube when I was in quarantine for 2020, and it was just a breath of fresh air in a world that was completely chaotic and stressful and scary and depressing. I just fell in love with it. It just made me feel less alone in a time when I felt very alone. So I just went headfirst into the world of Booktube. I started doing all of the Booktube things and just loved it for my own self, just spending my time in books and reading and watching content from other people who love books and reading and finding kindred spirits where I felt like I was alone in the world. So it was just definitely a wonderful addition to my life. And I figure I'm doing all of the booktube things anyway. Maybe I should try putting myself out there and meeting people and, you know, connecting with people who love books as much as I do. So I am super excited to start this channel. This month I'm going to be participating in Becca's Bookopoly and G's Magical Readathon. As you will see, my TBR is gigantic, but so are many of yours. And I am just so excited to be in a community where we can support each other and just enjoy what we're doing. I am also an elementary school teacher. I will be starting school again this September, but I'm going to be teaching as a substitute instead of a full-time classroom teacher this year, so I'll have a little bit of spare time and I'll be able to invest more time into Booktube than I would have in years past. So seems like perfect timing for me. I hope that some of you enjoy my content and are willing to come on this ride with me. So without further ado, welcome to my first reading vlog / TBR.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon.
So the first roll, I rolled. Oh, crap! I'm gonna have to go back and look at the footage. Okay, hang on. Hey friends, I am going to be doing my TBR for Bookopoly for September, and I am so excited. It was not very kind to me in some ways, but in other ways it worked out perfectly because I was able to double up most of my prompts for Book Gross Magical Readathon, so super excited about that. But let's go ahead and jump into it.
I had a hard time figuring out the angle for my camera. If anybody has any suggestions, please let me know. So the first roll was a 6. And I landed on the humans space.
So, roll number 1, I landed on humans, which is basically to read a book with the main character that is a human. And so I chose The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. It's a fantasy classic. It has been my number 1 favorite book since I was in middle school, probably, when the movies first came out. And I was gifted a beautiful illustrated copy of The Lord of the Rings, and I've been waiting to be able to read that copy. So I put that on right away. I knew I wanted to read it in September because I always get the Middle-earth feels in September when things start getting cold and the leaves start changing. So really excited about that, and it doubles up as my prompt for the Ashhorn Tree on the Novice Path because it is one of my top TBR picks, one of the books that I've been really waiting to get my hands on. Rule number 2 was a double. and I landed on mood read. So I am not going to choose a book for that yet, and we'll see how I feel come September. I've got a very large TBR, so I might want to slip in a graphic novel or something like that just to shake it up a bit. Roll number 3, was another double, and I landed on The Prompt Who, which is basically reading a book that you have never heard of before. The author is someone that you haven't read from, or you haven't really seen many reviews for the book. And I chose The Wrong Family by Taryn Fisher. I have never read from this author. I have not heard anything about this book. I just randomly picked it as my thriller for Magical Readathon when I was doing my TBR for that on my Hoopla download account that I listen to my audiobooks on. So I chose that one, and again, it doubles as a book prompt for the Magical Readathon for Obsidian Falls. Read a thriller or a mystery. Rule number 4 was a Becca recommendation. So I chose Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb for that. In August, I joined the El Delay along. I never know how to say that. With everybody, I know that I've been definitely feeling some FOMO, missing out on the whole Robin Hobb thing. So super excited. I read the first book and absolutely loved it, 5 stars, and so I figure that would fit perfectly since it's Becca's book club that is reading Robin Hobb. It also fits perfectly with another prompt from my Magical Readathon, which was The Tower of Rumination. Read a 5-star prediction. Hey friends, sorry about the lighting. This is future Sarah coming back to say that I made a mistake. I skipped number 5 completely when I was doing my TBR for the Bookopoly rolls. So my number 5, I landed on feed scroll. So that means that I had to go through one of my social media feeds. And the first book, wow, the glare. Also, the glare in the video was terrible, and I'm so sorry. Next time, I will try and be more professional and not have that happen. Anyway, the social media that I went through was Goodreads, and the very first notification that I had on there was one from Becca, and she is working through a deal with the Elf King. So I added that as my 5th role for my Bookopoly TBR. I don't really know anything about it. I just know it's a fantasy romance with elves, and I've heard good things about it, so I am looking forward to reading it. Number 6 landed on a big book, which was a little scary, but actually fit perfectly with what I wanted to read this month as well. I'm going to be picking up Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is the biggest book that I own, and I am so excited to get to it. The aesthetic for this book is just so fall with the orange colors on the front. The cover is absolutely beautiful. and I just am ready to sink my teeth into some really good fantasy. So super excited about this. This is a book about dragons and forbidden magic and just political intrigue, and I don't really know very much about it, but I am super excited to read it. Rule number 7 was lowest rated. So I went on to my Goodreads. I don't know how to put the little scrolly thing on the screen yet. I will figure that out soon. But at 3.12 stars on my want to read list was Catherine House. And I've heard really mixed things about this. It's a dark academia. Some people love it, some people are not so hot about it. So I'm excited to read it. It also seemed perfect for going into fall, so I'm really excited about that. Rule number 8, made my way around the board again, and I landed on humans once again, which was perfect because I had another book that I wanted to try and double up for my magical readathon that had humans as main characters, and that book is The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I don't know much about it. I know that there's a story about a young boy who was raised by ghosts in a cemetery, and that's basically it. It really has wonderful autumn vibes, Halloween spooky vibes, and it's something that I've been wanting to read for a while. And I chose it originally because it fits the prompt for the magical readathon Ruin of Sky, where you choose a book with supernatural elements, including ghosts, haunted houses, and those kinds of things. So that fits perfectly. Oh, I have a cat. She's trying to join our chat. Well, number 9 was Hyped, a book that is hyped, and I chose Ninth House. I have heard lots and lots of things about Ninth House. It's definitely taken Booktube by storm, and it is something that I am really interested in checking out. So it also doubles as another readathon prompt for the magical readathon, and that is the Aurelium Academy arc, Read a Book with a School Setting. And finally, rule number 10 was a chance, and I got The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He. I know a lot of you have been reading this and really enjoying it, and the cover art is just gorgeous. And it fit the last prompt for my magical readathon TBR, which was The Mist of Solitude, read a standalone book. So yeah, that was my September Bookopoly TBR. Most of the books I don't own. A lot of them I'll be listening to on audiobook or finding on ebook. But I'm super daunted by my September TBR. It's my first month on Booktube, and I have chosen the month where I will be doing Becca's Bookopoly and the Magical Readathon by G in the same month. But you know, why not, right? Go big or go home. So I have a total of 10 books on my September TBR. A lot of them are pretty chunky, but I am so ready.